Hey everyone, it's Tiff. Welcome back to my channel. So recently I filmed a podcast style talking video with my friend in New York back in October where we talked about dating experience in New York versus Korea, and I have been editing it for a bit, but we felt like maybe it was just too chaotic and incoherent, so we're gonna refilm it at a later time and hopefully we can make a better video. But yeah, I still wanted to come on here and talk about this topic a little bit. I think I'm just kind of preparing myself as a person that's newly single and kind of trying out dating again in Korea versus New York. I mean, I'm going back to New York soon, so I did go on a few dates in New York when I was back. Dating in Korea has definitely influenced my values and what I'm looking for, and I think I'm on this journey where I'm still trying to figure out what I need and want in a partner. And I think it's because my serious long-term relationships have all been very different experiences for me. When I really think about it, I do prefer someone who is well traveled and has experience with different cultures, because as some of you guys know, I am originally from Hong Kong and then moved to New York when I was young, lived there for most of my life, and came to Korea about 6.5 years ago. So of course all three cities have definitely impacted me and shaped who I am today, and I feel like I need someone who can understand that, and on top of that, someone who can speak the languages I do, or at least has an interest to learn the languages that I know, because I feel like when you know different languages, sometimes your personality changes a bit depending on the language you speak. And I've actually heard that when I speak in English, I'm more of this like independent, strong woman type of feeling. And then when I speak in Korean, I have this more like cutesy, I don't know, aegyo thing. But like honestly, I don't have that much aegyo, but that's what my friends have told me. So I don't know. So it's true that I am trilingual and I feel most comfortable in English, but sometimes I feel like there are things that I can only express in Korean and in Cantonese. But when it comes to expressions of affection, so it's called 애정표현 in Korean, I feel the most comfortable expressing it in Korean. I don't know, like if I'm saying I love you or I miss you, I feel weird saying it in English, but in Korean it's just kind of easier to say. And like I said, I don't have much aegyo, but I guess when I say those kind of expressions, there's a little bit more aegyo to it, but that's not the point. The point is some of the things I can feel more comfortable saying it in Korean. So it is a bit weird explaining it to my friends, especially because I'm not Korean, but I think it's because most of my formative dating experience has been in Korea and was done in Korean. Just a bit more background details. My first relationship was in New York, but it was not with a Korean. It was another Asian American, and everything was in English, of course. But it was my first relationship, so I wasn't very good at communicating. I did not really know how to express my thoughts or feelings, and maybe I didn't even know how I was feeling at the time because everything was just so new to me, and I always had to take so long to process my thoughts, and I would just write them down instead of saying it right then and there. So a lot of it I just was not good at communicating. After that, my second relationship was with a Korean, and we didn't speak English at all, maybe like 5%, but that was the relationship where I really learned to express my thoughts and feelings a lot better, but it was all in Korean. So then now I'm communicating in a more healthy way, but in Korean. So all my expressions, my affection was in Korean, and that's why I think even now that's what I'm more comfortable with. But in the end, because it was more difficult to talk about the deeper topics, the more complicated topics in Korean, we did break up because of language and culture barrier. And that's when I realized I wanted to be with someone who obviously speaks English fluently, but also knew Korean enough where I can express certain affection or whatever in Korean. That's actually when I went on that dating show that I don't know if you guys know, but I will insert a clip from the podcast that we did because I did talk about it there. So yeah, on that dating show, I had this mindset where I want to be with someone who can speak English and Korean So that's kind of why I didn't go for the more local Koreans on the show. But yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about that. Just watch the clip because I know some people are still interested in why or how I got into the show, and I'm just gonna talk about that part.
A lot of people asked about this, but after that oppa, I was on that dating show, and a lot of people asked me how I got on that dating show. So
How did you get on that?
I didn't tell you. So
I don't think so, yeah.
okay, so that dating show, it was just like a random.
Oh, let's tell the fans. It's Ramen and Chill.
Ramen and Chill. Please don't watch it because I'm quite embarrassed of it. It was focused on 5 foreign girls and 5 Korean guys and kind of how we would interact in terms of Korean culture, Korean dating, or language. How I found out about it is because someone that I met on an expat Facebook group, she remembered me and she told me, hey, like my friend is filming this YouTube show about dating. I think you'd be a great fit for it. Would you like to try out for it? So at that time I was single, I was not working, I was just doing a boot camp for coding. So I was quite free. So I decided to try out for it, and then somehow I got in, and
The rest is history.
the rest is history. Yeah, honestly, it was just, me applying for it, filming a video where I'm talking about my dating history and myself and my interests. And then I went to an actual real life interview where I don't even know what they asked me actually, but I guess they liked me. I remember Anna being there, David, Danny, and they were quite fun. I don't really remember what I said, but I guess they liked me. They thought I was interesting. But then once I got on the show, I was quite shy.
If I can interject here, like, I don't know if you guys feel the same way that I do, but I've always felt that a lot of these dating shows are like scripted. I feel like Singles Inferno is probably scripted, right?
Probably.
I think a lot of it is scripted, but it's so bizarre when I mean, it's not like the show blew up, but the first episode had like 1 million, 2 million views or
It's
something.
2 million
yeah,
views
2 million,
now.
2
It's
million
been 2
views,
years.
right? Yeah.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of views, right, guys? And the thing is, it's crazy because that's like a lot of views. And if I had just come across like a recommended YouTube video, I'd be like, this is also another like scripted YouTube video. But like knowing Tiffany before she went on the show and then watching that show, I'm like, holy, this is actually
This is me.
Tiff. Like, I don't know if anyone else was kind of acting. But Tiffany
right.
was totally real. And I think, I don't know how many of you guys have actually watched the show and like watched some of the post show like shorts, but I think it's very evident that Tiffany was like just being herself on that show, and it's from like a neutral bystander who has just been friends with Tiffany for a while before she went on the show.
Yeah.
Like it kind of made me realize like, oh, maybe all these shows are actually not scripted, and some of these shows are actually genuine.
No, they're fake.
Okay, but at least for you.
Because I was stupid. After I did the show, I felt like I should have acted a little.
That's the difference
I don't
between you and
know.
me. And it's probably a good thing, and it's probably the reason they chose you. If I was on that show, I would definitely act at least a little bit, you know? Like, I'm not gonna bear out my heart and soul on a show that like millions of people are watching.
I didn't realize that 2 million people were gonna watch this show. So.
But honestly, I think that's maybe not like great for the image you wanted to give to the 2 million people, but I think it's great for your fans, right? That you're like genuine in everything that you do. I think that's a pretty good,
Yeah.
angle for you to have.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was a great experience. I really wish I could redo it. I wish I could redo that singing scene, the talent show.
Okay, because you said that, now everybody's gonna go back to the talent show and they're all gonna rewatch that part.
I swear I sing better than that, but that mic had no echo at the time. Like, I sing better than whatever that show was showing you. Like, I have.
She is a pretty good singer.
I'm
She's legitimately a
I'm
very good
pretty
singer.
okay. I'm not like Celine Dion. I'm not IU for sure. I'm sorry I sang an IU song. Like, he loves IU.
I love IU.
And I
IU's
probably
kind of my bias.
I probably butchered the song for him, but I'm an okay singer, and I just got so nervous. There was no echo on the mic. I like was bad on it. But otherwise, I regret that singing part, and I regret not being a little bit more interesting, charismatic, or I don't know, a little bit more.
I think you were good on the show.
I just felt like everyone was so much more charismatic.
I think the problem with shows like that is a lot of these shows, they want to have a clear narrative, right? Because to be honest, a lot of our lives, it's like random, right? Like sometimes we do things for no reason other than we like feel it at the moment. And I feel like you're being genuine and you were doing sort of things in the moment.
I was.
And that wasn't like clearly contributing to a narrative that they're trying to promote on the show.
I mean, everyone just thought I was like super boring
Yeah.
and whatever.
Obviously, I did not date anyone from the show. Sorry, spoilers. But after the show, I did meet my most recent ex, who I talked about in my most recent video. He spoke English fluently, but he obviously knew Korean as well, so it was a very good mix in terms of that. And even though the rest of it was not great, I think because the language worked out, I was able to communicate myself the most comfortable with him and just express myself and all my thoughts and everything most comfortably with him. So yeah, I feel like in the end, having that language similarity definitely helps me feel more comfortable with someone. And of course, if they're interested in different cultures and just like if they're interested in learning about Cantonese culture, that is a big plus for me. And that's why I feel like that's an important aspect that I'm looking for in a partner. As someone who has experienced so many different cultures and languages, I've actually recently met someone who I talked to for a bit. Nothing's happened between us, but he was not too multilingual or multicultural, but that made it a little bit difficult because when I had to say certain things, I couldn't express it in English, and I would say it in Korean and be like, wait, what is this in English? And then it would just be kind of like a frustrating point. And I'm not saying that I would only want to be with a Korean person, and like, to be honest, I still don't think I can date a local Korean anymore, because yeah, like even though I can express affection in Korean, can't really talk about deeper things because that person might only know about Korean culture and not be so familiar with the Western culture. So it's just, yeah, like there's a balance. I need someone who has that balance, and I think that's why it's been kind of difficult for me to really find someone that, I don't know, checks all the boxes, or someone that matches what I need. But yeah, I don't know, what do you guys think about this? Like, if you can relate, if you have any advice or just any comments, leave them down below for me. And hopefully I'll have better news about my dating life next time when I refilm that talking video with my friend. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!